Greetings, Star Trek Fleet Commanders. I am the Angry Rhino. Please like and subscribe to the channel. So, I'm going to take a break, if you will, from my loop prioritization series, though it does kind of fit with prioritization. Events can sometimes take priority over some of the other loops, depending on the event. Really good events like this one. At least it really looks like it. I'll do a little bit of testing a little later in the video and we'll see how really good it is. Events like this is going to take a lot of precedence. I do recommend that you go in here and finish all 4 of these milestones. Yes, sounds like a lot. And believe me, I finished 2 of them. Yeah, it's a lot. I'm not going to say that it's not. But with all the loops, and I understand these loops are important, get you a bunch of stuff. This Armada event, in my opinion, takes precedent over any other loop. For 2 reasons. Really, it's only a 3-day event, so it's only for 3 days. And 2, because the reward, at least the way I see it, and we'll see later again, I did say that already, but this seems to be one of the most rewarding events ever in this game, if not the most rewarding event to free-to-play, low spender, high spender, medium spenders across the board. Now, we have had several videos already posted about this event, so I'll try to do a quick recap of how this event is going down. There are 5 milestones, 1 for each officer, and then this maybe not even larger, maybe even a little smaller, I guess, really encompasses all the officers. 100 points for each milestone for each of the officers. The Jadzia milestone, the Janeway milestone, the Chakotay milestone, Doctor milestone. Each of those singular milestones gets you 100 points. In this event right here, 4,000 points to completion. You get 400 of these little tokens, an avatar, and a frame, and you really want that. Though, you don't really need to do anything special for it. You just, do these other ones. Now, what you will need to do special for these individual officers. Yes, it is based on, as you can see at the bottom, scoring is based on avatar equipped by Armada leader. Initially, it did say scoring based on avatar you had equipped, but it wasn't scoring that way, so they just changed the wording, which is fine. It then seems to be working out okay. Now, how you score with Armadas. Group Armadas only, uncommon, rare, epic. Now, I did try Burial Armadas. Burial Armadas are not scoring, even though they're not on this list of banned Armadas. Probably because they cost all fuck. I almost started swearing up a storm there because I'm a little annoyed. Especially because I just said, oh, sometimes these Burial Armadas count. And I'm like, oh, here's an event that proves me right. Nope. Significantly less cost for those Burial Armadas. That's the only reason I can assume that they're not scoring, because they use the same type of Armada directives. And also, you can score 150 points per wave hostile killed. Now, based on what I have seen, I'm not saying that this is how it's actually scoring, because we know scoring can be kind of wonky sometimes. Based on what I have seen, wave hostiles killed is dependent on your avatar. Again, just from what I could tell. So, kind of tricky to pick the avatars up there, because you can see I had 2 milestones done. So it's the Jadzia and the Doctor one that I really need to concentrate on. So, I mean, it's pretty simple. You do Armadas, hopefully the leader has, let's say, Jadzia's avatar selected, or you do waves with the avatar selected. Now let me show you this. This is a screenshot. It was a free claim chest. Got you some of these tokens, and it made sure everybody had the 4 scoring avatars. Worf here, that is the Jadzia scoring avatar. Valentine's Day 2022. It's a little heart-shaped thing inside of, let's say, a gold circle, maybe like a pendant, I guess. That is for the Doctor. Valentine's Day, no year. Just a gold heart, pink in the middle. That is for Janeway. And then this heart that I'm going to say it looks like it's a Borg assimilated one is for Chakotay. So again, going from right to left, Jadzia, Doctor, Janeway, Chakotay. Okay, back to the game here. Okay, so yeah, Jadzia was that one. You see, I have... Okay, I'll explain what the... Where did it explain that? Alright, I'll read this description here. Earn reputation based on how many milestones you've completed. Your reputation affects the rewards in the store. Now that it is, because there are 4 different claims in the store, one for each different officer, you can see the different milestones. It's about 10 per, 0 through 9, 10 through 19, 20 through 29, 30 through 39, and then 40, I guess, is by itself. Lots of milestones. Yes, sounds like a lot. Well, get started. You want to get started. Yeah, you can kill wave. And here it does tell you which avatar to specifically use in each officer's milestones. I just want to make sure I'm getting through everything I want to get through in this screen before I go to the event store. Yes, I did complete Janeway and Chakotay, some of the more popular ones. Well, actually, more the 2023 is more of a popular one. I think people like Chakotay more. I was spamming the shit out of Epic Cardassian Armadas this morning, trying to get the Janeway one completed before this video, because I do want to test some of the cooldown or limit theories in the store. Hopefully there aren't any. Rev did a video yesterday and he said he didn't notice any. Doesn't mean there isn't one. Doesn't mean that. So wanted to complete it. Janeway is who I wanted, so I'll share whatever kind of information you guys want if I got it, but I'm not going to take less officer shards. So I want to make sure I got that completed. I think that's enough. Let's go to this store. Parmak. Okay. Take a look at the little title bar, I guess, of each little box here. Favored for Janeway and Chakotay. It's the reputation they were talking about. Respected for Doctor and Jadzia. Take a look in here. You see how there's a 4 here. Just starting out, there was only a 1. And actually, they actually did us a solid here. They put a little I button here. Drop rates. Neutral, 1 shard. Tolerant, 2 shards. Friendly, 3 shards. Respected, 4 shards. Favored, 6 shards. So, yes. And as far as I can tell, the cost per chest is not going up. So that's why you do kind of want to wait until you finish one of the milestones. Hopefully you can anyway. Hopefully finish all of them before you start pulling, because you lose out on some shards. You see Jadzia is the same. She's at 4. Jack Chakotay out. He's at 6. Now, talk about and the officer choices here. I mean, I like Jadzia as an officer. My problem is she's only good in solo armadas, and her captain ability is one of the really better captain abilities out there. But the problem is, you got Cisco, you got Five, you got Chakotay. There's no room for Jadzia. Not unless you have a fourth ship. Well, right now you can't get four ships, so it's just Jadzia is the odd man out, or odd woman out in this case, or odd they out because she's Trill and has multiple genders and personalities. I don't know. However, kind of sucks because she could be really good, of course. Only going to Dominion because the damage boost she gets you isn't really good for bolos or shipyards because, all that comes from those specific ships. Now, Chakotay, I mean, he's a good officer. Oh, I was going to talk about the Doctor. The Doctor, I do think the Doctor is a good officer. I know everybody loves the Doctor because of that extra loot below deck. Yeah, but if you've heard me talk about my philosophy sometimes with hostile grinding is extra loot is nice and can be beneficial, but if you're gaining extra loot, let's say with a loot gain officer, at the cost of putting a combat officer on there and therefore killing less hostiles, I don't always think that's better. If you can kill the same amount of hostiles or close to it while also having a loot gain officer, then yeah, that is kind of more worth it, I think. But if you're going to kill significantly less, I don't think that's that good. And also, it's kind of low, I think. 30% is kind of meh. Well, I guess whatever the hell tier I am, I guess I'm 3. 30% below deck, I mean, it's nice and all, but it's like, nah. I have 5. If I really want it, I can get 80%, close to 100% there. And yes, his officer ability is good. It does add mitigation for you. The problem is you got to get hit first, which I don't really like. But it does work. It's not that it doesn't work. Chakotay, I know everybody likes, but I really like Chakotay, and I'm not saying that he's a bad officer. One reason I have him at tier 3 already, and 2, he's only good in armadas. And yes, he will add you extra shots, which is nice. His critical chance, again, only stacks for 2 rounds, which you know how I feel about that. Each time you hit the armada. It's better than, let's say, Khan, you having to get hit by an armada. But, it's not, in my opinion, it doesn't stack enough. But it does work. My opinion, Janeway is the best officer here. Partially because you take a look at her officer ability. At the start of combat, Janeway increases your isolated cascade by 15% against non-player hostiles and armadas. So she works for you against hostiles and armadas. I only have her at tier 2. It's part of the reason why I want her instead of Chakotay. Now, her captain ability, when you take hull damage from a non-player hostile or armada, increases your shield absorption, or the way they say, shield mitigation, where more of the damage will go to your shields instead of your hull by 6%. Again, I think Janeway is more versatile. So that's why I prefer Janeway. Really, it's her officer ability because, especially going against these Xindi assholes, if you want to 2-ship it, you're going to put new data on the one ship. Who's going on the other ship? Well, depending on where your Janeway is tiered, she's the other option. I use her in waves a lot too, so more isolated cascade, more damage equals more kills, especially if it's isolated cascade. So I'm going to go for her. Now, talking about the numbers and why I really think this is a good event. Based on my math, and my math isn't that great, you can see I have 3,200 of these Valentine's Day currencies as it is. Looks like we can get up to 3,500. So that means the chests are 100. That is 35 pulls. So multiply 35 times 6. Getting it now? That's why I say this event has to take prioritization over anything. Hell, if you can take a sick day from work, do that. But don't tell your boss. Or make sure your boss doesn't watch my videos. So, I mean, what is that? Well, 30 times 6 is 180. 5 times 6 would be 30. So 210? Holy shit. Holy shit. And another reason why I want Janeway 180 shards. And I'll get tier 3. So, let's do some pulls. How many do I want to do? I want to do at least 1,000 worth. So let's do 10. That'll be about 60 shards. So let's go down to 2,200. Start pulling. Wow, okay, kicks you out of the thing, but new cooldown so far. Okay, so I've gotten 60 shards. Got 60 shards. No evidence, or I got 60 shards. No evidence of a cooldown or limit yet. Okay, let's pull some more. Since I do want to tier her up. I'm not going to pull all of them, but I'll pull enough to tier her up. And I'll see where I'm at. I think I have enough to tier her up. Okay. Still going. I know I said I was going to do 2,200, didn't I? I lied. Alright, well, I might as well pull. Bam, here we go. Wow. I'm speechless. It's just, I've made so many videos complaining about things, and I've complained about things that they do in this game so many times. It's just odd to see anything this rewarding without having to pay $1,000. Because I've seen things come into this game that are probably this rewarding, like those tiered primes for ship parts and materials for your ships. They were expensive. This is not expensive. And I'm like looking around. Am I being punked? Is Ashton Kutcher gonna pop out and say, "Ha, gotcha," or something? What's going on? I don't know what to do. Yeah, it's like I don't have anything to complain about. Shit tons of officer shards, epic officer shards, no cooldowns from what I see, no limits from what I see. And you saw me just get, 180 shards? Wow. Okay, yeah. Whew. Alright. Which that was really the main thing that I wanted to do here. Oh, recommendation. Yes, I recommend that as far as avatars go and what you equip whatever you're lowest on. Because most likely, whatever your teammates are running, and it does affect. But if you're noticeably higher in 1 or 2 milestones, it's probably because your teammates are running, those avatars. Well, you do kind of want to balance it out because you don't want to finish 3 of the milestones and need 100,000 points for the other one, and you got less than a day left. It'll be a lot harder to get that. So if you can try to balance it out, at least for the first day or two, then when the third one hits, I don't know, you scramble to get the rest of it. But I do suggest selecting the avatar that you have the least points for in that milestone. Now, I'm not saying change it after every Armada, maybe after, I don't know, every 3 hours or so. Go in and check and see where you're at and then change your avatar accordingly. Best advice, I guess, I can give you to do these events as quickly and as efficiently as possible, hopefully. All right, let's wrap that up. Summarizing this. Main thing I wanted to do was recap the event, this Valentine's Day event, a little bit and really do some testing to see if there were any limits or cooldowns or any other kind of hindrance on these officer claims. I just pulled 180 Janeway shards in a minute. Didn't see any cooldown, didn't see any limit. So there's a good thing there. Make sure, hopefully, pass the word on to all your teammates that it really doesn't appear to be anything like that at this point. But we'll see. Hopefully, got a day and a half left. Hopefully this event goes off without any more problems. All right, so comment below. What do you think about this event? Is this not the greatest event ever in this game? From my recollection, there's never been an event this good. I mean, you're talking, what was the math at? 200 something shards? 200 something epic officer shards? There's never been an event that good, in my opinion. Do you also agree? And of the 4 choices, Jadzia, Doctor, Janeway, Chakotay, which would you recommend players going after? Be sure to like and subscribe. I am the Angry Rhino. Shields up, Commanders.